Hey y'all, it's Adam. I'm going to do a quick little video here that informally walks you through the starting a group guide on the Autodesk Community Dojo website. The first thing I actually want to talk about is encouraging you all to start with a simple spark of what's your motivation for starting this group. Get together with friends, think about it yourself. The core of most great groups start with the people who are hosting that group, the relationships that they have, the intentions, the ideas, ideals, and values that they exhibit, and bringing people into that energy. And start small and see if you can find that good energy that is feeding you, it's feeding others. See what ideas develop, and that healthy seed, if you nurture it, you can sort of follow it to interesting things for you, interesting things for the community. And it's really about learning along the way. And listening and following that energy can be more important than pushing through, an idea of what success looks like or an idea of what you want to happen. Think about what you need, what do people need, what wants to happen, and follow that. And a great group might form as a result of that. But be open. So that brings us to this full starting a group guide. And the first step of that really is what we just talked about, is to clarify your own goals and intentions. What value are you and other members going to get as they participate? Is it learning, relationship building, career advancement? Have conversations about it with your networks. And as you do that, you will further refine your ideas. You'll start to create relationships. And through that process, you will be bringing people in and sort of creating, hopefully, a little cohort of folks that can help start this group with you, either as leaders or first members of the group. And so really this is sort of the imagine stage of starting a group that leads directly into the second stage or cluster of steps here, which is kind of around scoping. And so with this group of people, really define your group's identity. What's the charter? What are ground rules? What's the group's name? That's a really important one. This is foundational so that community members know what to expect of the group and that you as group leaders know what to expect of each other. One important aspect of this is determining if there's any financial requirements for the group. And if you're part of the Autodesk Group Network, there's some resources and benefits that can help get you started. Check out the benefits guide. But most or many groups, or at least the groups I've been a part of, oftentimes the leaders end up having some financial stake in what the group is doing, which is a really important thing to reflect on and communicate about. With that as a foundation, it sort of brings us to the next bit here, which is about just doing the stuff that you want to do as a group. Make the group tangible. Organize your first thing. If it's online based, where are you going to be engaging? What platform is it hosted on? If it's event based, what's your first event? What's it about? Who's going to be there? What tools are you going to use to run the group? Are there partnerships or relationships that the group can have with other groups? That might be something you define back up here as well as you're imagining. So this is sort of the starting of the group is actually doing the stuff of the group. And an important aspect of that is prototyping and learning from early members. And so you don't have to start super big. In fact, I would argue that it's better to start small and to prototype and learn along the way so that you can improve what you're doing. You're going to create some content that you can get out there to get more momentum. You're going to create engagement norms. And actually, one of the things that groups do is that they build culture. And so build a strong culture with that first set of people, and that makes it easier, much easier to scale than if you try to do too much too early. But if and when you're ready, you can start to promote your group more broadly, seek to do more. With that strong foundation of initial engagement and enrolled leadership, you have the start of a healthy group. And so similar to what we talked about with that spark, just follow the energy. How can you build momentum? And really this gets into the running of a group. There's a whole separate guide on that. And I encourage you to check that out. There's pieces around education, around relationship building, around doing projects. Really depends on what you want to do as a group. Let's see. And the last bit here that's part of the starting a group guide is there may come a time when you need to create legal structures. I sort of put this at the end here because paying too much attention to this stuff like way up front can really bog you down. Most groups that I have been a part of don't formally incorporate ever, but it depends on what you're trying to do. And if your group's mission requires significant infrastructure or big events, you may want to formalize those organizational or financial structures early on. And even simple things like a bank account that is shared for the group is sometimes a lot harder than you think it's going to be. So doing a good job with this scoping and having your eye a little bit on the ball for what you might want to do down the line and knowing whether or not you need to do anything up front in terms of formal structures is sets you in a good place to start your group. There's more information on all this stuff on the Autodesk Community Dojo. I hope this gets you off to a good start. And sort of to reiterate, make sure you keep learning, you keep building the relationships that are bringing you into this work in the first place, and take it as it comes. Good luck.